Hello everyone, welcome back to Make Your Dream with Katya. In today's lesson, we will learn the circular pattern tool and see how to create pattern around an axis, step by step.
I got this magic in my fingertips, designing dreams with every click. Shapes and wonders coming to life. With CATIA, I cut through strife. In my mind, the future's clear. No more doubts, no more fear. Crafting visions in 3D. CATIA's the key, don't you see? I can reach the sky so high. Build my dreams, no need to try. With every tool I sculpt my fate. CATIA helps me innovate. Every line precise and true. Colors bright and brand new. Transforming steel into art. CATIA plays the perfect part. Imagination runs so wide.
Hello everyone. Today, continuing the pattern tools lesson, we will learn about the circular pattern tool. In the rectangular pattern, you saw that we can duplicate a volume in one or two linear directions with the desired number of instances. Here we duplicate a volume around a linear axis. This duplication happens on a circular path with a specific radius. Here we can create our pattern on concentric circles. In this case, we can create a pattern network on concentric circles. The rotation axis can be one of the coordinate axes, a straight edge of an existing volume, or a line. For example, look at this shape. To activate this tool, we must have an initial volume. Now we have a cylinder on the screen. I set the view direction perpendicular to the plane. I click on the tool. The tool setting window opens. This window has two main sections called Axial Reference and Crown Definition. In the Axial Reference section, we have three subsections. At the bottom of the window, you can see the More button. You can see some options inside the More section. Except for one option, the other options are exactly the same as the rectangular pattern setting window. We do not need to work with them for now. In the Axial Reference section, the first part has four options. The first option is called Parameters. In front of this option, you can see a box with a V symbol. Here we specify the duplication method. I click on the V symbol. A menu opens. There are 5 different modes in this menu. Under the Patterns option, you can see 3 other options called Total Angle, Angular Spacing, and Instances. As I said in the previous lesson, here instance means the number of copies. Also remember that the original model is included in this number. The word spacing means the distance between two elements in a pattern. So angular spacing refers to the angle between two neighboring elements in the pattern. The word total angle means the total angle between the first and the last element in the pattern. Please note that the maximum value of this angle can be 360 degrees. The second section is called Reference Direction. This section has two options. The first option is called reference element. There is a box in front of it. The rotation axis is defined in this box. The second option is called reverse. This option is shown as a button. By clicking on it, the rotation direction of the pattern changes. The first section is called object to pattern. This section has two options. The first option is called object. In front of it, there is a box with a multi-section tool. By default, current solid is written in this box. Current solid means all the three-dimensional elements that create the active body. You can see that the options in these two sections are the same as the rectangular pattern tool. Now let's check the different modes of the parameters option. Pay attention that in each mode, two of the three options below parameters will be active. I click on the V symbol in front of the box. A menu opens. You can see that with 5 different modes, we can create a circular pattern. Pay attention to the fourth option. Its name is complete crown. The literal meaning of it is one complete circle. Now I activate this mode. In this case, when this option is active, we can only change the instance value. Here the program considers the total angle equal to 360 degrees. By entering the number of instances, the program arranges the elements around the circle with equal distances. By increasing the number of duplicated instances, the angle between them becomes smaller. In the instance box, the default value is 2. You can see that in the angular spacing box, the angle is set to 180 degrees. I changed the instance value to 4. You can see that the value written in the angular spacing section changes to 90 degrees. In both cases, the total angle value remains 360 degrees. Now look at the last mode in the parameters option. It is exactly like the second mode. The difference is that you can change the angle between each two duplicated elements separately. I activate the second mode in the parameters section. I set the number of instances to 4 and the angle between two elements to 60 degrees. Now I activate the box in front of the reference element option. I right click inside it. I select the Z axis. Now you can see a wireframe preview. Here, two orange arrows with numbers 1 and 2 are visible. These two arrows show the angle value between two neighboring elements. If I change the angle value to 90 degrees, you can see that the angle between the two arrows becomes larger. Now I open the crown definition section. In this section, we can define the number of concentric circles and the distance between them. This section has two subsections. The first section has 4 options. The first option is called parameters. If I click on the V symbol in the box in front of it, a menu opens. There are 3 different modes in this menu. Each mode is a combination of 2 options. These options are shown as 3 separate options under parameters. The first option is called circles. In the box in front of it, we define the number of concentric circles. Remember that this number includes the original pattern element. The second option is called circle spacing. Here we enter the distance between two neighboring circles. The last option is called crown thickness. This means the radius of the last circle with the rotation axis as its center. The second section is also called Object to Pattern. In the Object option below it, we select the elements of the active body that will participate in the pattern. I explained how to work with these options completely in the previous lesson. Now I set the mode to circle and crown thickness. I set the number of circles to 2. Now in the crown thickness section, I enter the value 50 mm. I click on Preview. You can see the created shape. If we want to delete one of the cylinders, we cannot do this from the created shapes. The reason is that all these shapes are a single pattern. We must first open the pattern setting window from the design tree. Then click on the anchor point of the desired element. By clicking on OK, you can see that the element is deleted. Now consider this shape. I want to create a circular pattern from a triangle. In the previous case, the pattern shape was symmetrical, but here our shape is not symmetrical. I have shown the dimensions of its sides. I activate the tool. I set its parameters. I select the complete crown mode and set the number of instances to 8. I also select the z-axis as the rotation axis. The pattern elements are shown as wireframe. I click on Preview. Now pay attention to one point. The side with the 20 mm length is rotated according to the pattern angle on the circular path. I click on OK. I go to the sketcher environment with the XY plane. I draw two lines along the edges of the two neighboring shapes. I measure the angle between them. You can see that it shows an angle of 45 degrees. I return to the part environment. In the design tree, I double-click on the circular pattern name. In its setting window, I click on More. There is an option in the Rotation of Instance section. This option is called Radial Alignment of Instance. Now you can see that this option is active. I deactivate it. I click on OK. You can see that the triangle is patterned without rotation. One point that I also explained in the previous lesson is this: if your original model is located on another surface or volume and is connected to it in any way, when you create a pattern outside of the original surface or volume, you may face an error. I explained this topic completely in the previous lesson. Very well, today's lesson finished here. Circular pattern has many applications in different cases. This tool is one of the tools that increases the speed of our drawings. I hope today's lesson was useful and interesting for you. See you in the next lesson. Goodbye.
Let's build